In Buddhism, we believe about reincarnation.
We do? Okay.
But what about Muslims or Christianity? They don't believe in that. Then what happens after they die?
Some kids believe that respecting their parents makes them good people. Some kids don't. Is there a difference in the truth? You don't understand. So somebody explain to her? Let me explain one more time. It's very simple. Some kids believe that respecting their parents and taking care of them makes them a good person when they grow up. Some kids don't. Does it change the fact that if you do, it makes you a good person? Okay. So whether people accept or don't accept, it doesn't really matter. We don't need to bomb people. We don't need to stab people. We don't need to bribe people to believe in what we believe in. We believe in it not because we, as a group, as a Buddhist, we believe it through logical examination. Simple as that. So whether people believe in or not, it doesn't really matter. The rule of law, a cause and effect, is a rule of law. Example, there are insane people out there who kill and rape and murder, and they don't believe it's bad. But does the same effect come for them as a person who believes that it's bad? Of course it is. So a person who knows that it's bad and a person who doesn't know it's bad is the same thing. So someone who comes into Malaysia and they bring drugs, and someone who knows they should, when they're caught at the airport, is there a difference from the side of the law? Someone who comes into Malaysia with drugs, knowing that it's bad, and someone who comes in not knowing, if they're caught, does it make a difference from the side of the law? Okay? So whether you accept karma or not, karma is pervasive and existing. Otherwise, you tell me another explanation for the disparity in existence. You tell me another reason. Very simple. So if you believe in the law of cause and effect, it doesn't explain everything at our level, but it explains a lot more. So you're rich, I'm not. Why? Your previous life you gave more than I did. That explains it. Oh, well, God made you rich and made me not rich. Why? I'm fabulously beautiful and gorgeous and glamorous and you're not. Why? Because God made me this way and He forgot you? Why? Doesn't make sense to me, right? So in my previous life, I healed, I gave medicine, I massaged, I took care of people, I didn't kill, I took care of the sick. So in this life, I have a great, fabulous, gorgeous, beautiful, glamorous body. And your previous life, you ran around the woods naked. Just kidding. My point is this, is that there's a difference because we created the difference. That will explain it much better. Does everybody understand that? So whether people accept or not, why argue? If they have the merits, they have the karma to understand, wonderful. So those who don't understand and they engage in negative actions and make themselves suffer, that is suffering without knowing they're suffering. For Buddhists, we look at them with even more greater compassion. It forces us and motivates us and compels us to practice to become Buddha, even more so for those who do not know they suffer. Very simple. That's why, as I've always mentioned before, in the history of Buddhism for 2,500 years, from day one till now, there's never been a war in the name of Buddhism or Buddha, ever. Why is that? Even today, you don't hear any conflict with Buddhists anywhere in the world. Anywhere. You can blow up those Buddhas in Afghanistan. Buddhists are right in and say, don't. You don't see anybody harming anyone. Why? Because they believe in the law of cause and effect. It gives you mental strength. See, the difference in Buddhism, in the belief in cause and effect, is it makes you take responsibility. It doesn't blame it on the outer force. Oh, it's God. Oh, it's them. It's this. It's that. It's yourself. When you take responsibility, you make a difference for your world. If you keep blaming others, oh, they made me this way. It's that person. It's him. It's her. They didn't explain to me. They don't understand me. I didn't get to talk. Always it's other people's fault. You always suffer. Because you keep blaming other people. You make a difference. You change yourself. That's the key.
If the mind arises at the point of conception, how then
the mind doesn't arise at the point of conception. The mind enters at the point of conception.
Then how to explain about conception through IVF and embryos being frozen?
That's not your mind. Frozen embryos, IVF, your mind just enters. It's the same thing. Whether you're conceived in a lab or you're conceived in a womb, that is the physical basis for your mind to enter. So it doesn't matter where your mind enters. Example, you can enter into a dog and be a puppy. So how you're conceived physically doesn't matter. Doesn't matter at all. Your mind can still enter. Therefore, clones don't have the same mind. They have different minds. Different minds.
Could you please explain the relations between deja vu and the subtle mind, and whether it's a flashback of the past or a preview of the future or the messages?
Okay, messages. You're gonna have to see white noise. I'm just kidding. All right. Very easy. Deja vus can be memories of what we've done in a previous life, so when we do it again, it's like, oh, deja vu. Or they cannot be. It might be just like a dream. Deja vus do not indicate necessarily the subtle mind, active or working. Deja vu is familiarity with something. Example, if you like to do business a certain way, if you're interested in arts or music, that is not deja vu. These are perhaps things that you've done in previous lives that you're very familiar with. So that's not necessarily deja vu. So deja vu is a familiarity with something we've done in a previous life. And it doesn't necessarily point at, my subtle mind's opening. It doesn't necessarily mean it's a message. The message in spirituality is this. You don't need Buddha Shakyamuni on a cloud coming and telling you. The message is this. Benefit others as much as possible without motive. Develop that state of mind. That is the message. How much we can do that, all these other things will arise. Clairvoyance and knowing things, all that will arise. If we don't benefit others, all these other things that arise can be deception. Can be mind playing tricks on itself. You see, there is magic and mystery in Buddhism. But at our level, there's no magic and mystery. We have to go on pure logic. Why? We can go off the wrong path. You don't want a bunch of people coming here to learn shamanism. We teach you rituals and how to see your previous life, astral travel, burn wet blanket, melt wet snow in the Himalayas. We don't want that. What we want right now is, Rinpoche, tell me what I need to know about Buddhism and why I should practice to change my life. Alright? So they can be indications, they cannot be. It's not certain.
The person get a rebirth immediately?
Oh, when you pass away, the maximum amount in this realm is 49 days. After every 7 days, you have a natural death. Meaning in Bardo, you die after 7 days. Then you reborn again in Bardo. You die again, you reborn again. You die again, reborn again. It goes up to 7 times maximum, which is 49 days approximately. All right. Within that time, you have to take rebirth. For high-level practitioners, I know like His Holiness the Dalai Lama's root master, which we all witnessed. His Holiness Kachijamji, who died at 81 exactly as he predicted. When he died in Dharamsala, North India. When he died, the area had a gentle earthquake, and rainbow appeared around the moon, and it snowed very gently. And he stayed in meditation like this for 12 days. Meaning no movement, no talking, no eating, no peeing, no defecation, no sleeping, nothing. His Holiness Tridaramji stayed in meditation like this for 12 days. At the end of 12 days, his head slightly tilted down like this, and a drop of blood came out, which meant his consciousness is left. The Dalai Lama's senior tutor, His Holiness Kachid Lingramji, stayed in the same state of meditation, clear light, for 13 days in Dharamsala. And my root guru, Kachid Saranji, in the heat of South India, at 81, after a hearty breakfast. But he's quite fierce. His picture's inside Setrop's chapel. You can take a look. He has a goatee. He's quite fierce. He's quite good at scolding. And he doesn't say thank you or anything. On the day he was going to pass away, he said to his students, I've had a wonderful breakfast. You've all done great service to me. I thank you very much. They said thank you. Everybody got a shot. And they went off to monastic school. And then during midday, they heard His Holiness Kachid Saranji had breathed his last. Kachid Saranji sat in his favorite chair in meditation for 3 days. No movement whatsoever. And you have to remember, you say, what's the big deal? It is a big deal because it's South India. And he doesn't have air conditioning like here. It is hot and steamy. No negative smells from his body. No corrosion. No Nothing. He sat in a state of meditation for 3 days. And on top of that, gave indications of his next rebirth. Where, the direction, his parents' name, his race. And when we actually burned his holy body with rituals and prayers inside a stupa, because we need ashes to enshrine it in a stupa, in a pagoda. When we removed the ashes, 2 very distinct, small, infant footprints can see in the ashes. Very clear, they took pictures. And his skull did not burn. His tongue, his eyes, and his heart did not burn. They preserved it. This is very normal. And he took rebirth in North India, Kunu Manali, as he predicted. And when his attendants, his previous life attendants, went to go find him, they brought articles of his previous life that he had used. The minute the child saw the attendants, the parents doesn't know who they are. The child is 2-3 years old. He immediately screamed. Their names, he knew who they were, and he said, "Take me back to the monastery." Immediately. When I met him for the first time, he recognized me. I was shocked. I was shocked beyond anything. I was thinking, oh my God, he can die, come back, recognize. I say, oh God, if I can just die and come back safely, it's good enough. I'm not going to recognize anything. I've seen this with my own eyes. You see, don't think that I'm Tibetan and I have to accept this and this is right. No, I am Tibetan. I am born Buddhist. I am. But it doesn't mean I have to accept it. I've seen it. I've witnessed it with my own eyes. I'm not as smart as some of you, but I'm not as stupid as some of you too. Sorry. I've seen it. These little kids can't fool you. They can't fool you. And they come up with things that from their previous lives and they tell you that only you know. You go, what? How do you know that? That only you know. That they told you in their previous lives. At a very young age. I saw it. Rinpoches are real. Reincarnations are real. I see it all the time. All the time. I met very young Rinpoches who on sight can predict the future to me. They're 11 or 12 years old. Where I'm going to go, who I'm going to meet, at what time, what place, and how many years. Exactly to a T. I saw it with my own eyes. They're recognized by the Dalai Lama. They're recognized by the oracles of India, of monastery. They can't be wrong. I don't care, I'm sorry, with respect, I don't care if you guys believe in reincarnation. I have overwhelming evidence, and I've seen it with my own eyes. I lived in America for part of my life. I came back to my culture. I didn't grow up in my culture. I did not. I came back to my culture when I was around 19, 20. I was away from my culture my whole life. So I am not imprinted by cultural imprints. I am not. I left America for a reason. I knew I was leaving America. The things I did in America, I needed to do. I knew at a very young age I would leave. I knew at a very young age what I needed to do. I'm not showing off. I'm not saying I had visions or I saw or I had dreams. I did not. But I just knew I would travel. I would have to teach. I would have to meet a lot of people. I knew that as a young child. How I knew, I don't know. I just always played that way. I would memorize prayers, memorize texts. I would sit on beds and pretend there was imaginary people and I would teach them things. I would dream of wearing these funny yellow hats. All the time. Not all the time, sometimes. Even when I was very small, I go to the library, I find particular Tibetan deities. The very deities that I was attracted to in dictionaries and encyclopedias and Tibet travelogue books, even back in the 80s. The very deities that I like are the very deities that I was told I practiced in my previous life by my lamas. How would they know that? I mean, Tibetan pantheon deities are hundreds. I have overwhelming evidence for myself. People look at me like I go party, I have fun, I have this, I have that. That's what I am on the outside, but I'm different on the inside. Why am I different on the inside? Because I put effort. I put effort to be different. Not to be different, but to not become worse. I put effort for the last 20 years. The last 20 years I didn't have fun. I didn't go to discos. I didn't run here. I didn't run there. I didn't go business. I didn't do this, do that. The last 20 years I was in a monastery. I taught. I raised funds. Meditated. Stayed in months and months of retreats. That's what I did for the last 20 years. I am different today because I put effort, not because I'm a miracle maker. No. I made effort. So, I saw these things. I witnessed it. I'm not telling you some miracle tale. Whether you believe me or not doesn't really make a difference, doesn't affect me because I saw it. But I gave you today a discourse on the logical workings behind it. All of us are reincarnations. It's just what we did in our previous lives. It's very, very important to know. Okay?